Great.
Sean Fitzgerald here from Observe What Is. I've got Paul with me from Vuka Flooring, and he's going to explain to me. We're going to talk a little bit about his business. It's going to be under the playlist of business ideas and strategies, so go look for it there. A little introduction from yourself, Paul. Your full name, your age, are you married, and a little bit about yourself.
Okay, full name Paul Allen Clark, 37 years old, am married, got 2 kids, good old South African guy, born and raised, trying to run a business.
Good. Paul, any hobbies? You look like a guy that likes playing sport or something.
Yes, when I get the chance, I do like to go for a surf, and other than that, a bit of a walk and a cycle now and then,
I
yeah,
thought he was a surfer.
when I can.
Okay, the nature of your business. Yeah, explain to me what your business is.
Our business is the manufacture and of supply and installation of epoxy and resin flooring systems. So we cover two aspects, the production, the manufacture of those goods, as well as the on-site installation at clients' premises.
You are in a partnership.
I'm in a partnership. Yes, my partner Michael and I are both equal partners.
Is a partnership, and I know I'm just going to ask you this a little bit. In terms of a partnership, is it important that obviously there's a trust factor? You need to how you need to get involved with a partner that you know well. Is this correct?
Absolutely. If there's no trust, the business becomes dangerous in itself already. Yeah.
Is this a lot of the reasons why people partnerships? You see it all the time. Partnerships dissolve.
Absolutely. People don't know what each other are doing or suspect that each other are doing the right thing and don't only find out when it's too late. With my partner, I go back at university. I've spent many years living with him, etc. So I know him like a brother, and that obviously puts a lot of peace of mind towards our relationship.
People get involved with people that they don't know, and they think it's okay.
Well, the idea sounds great. You know, let's do business. You'll do
Yes.
that. I'll do that. Cool, that'll work, and let's see how it goes. But it doesn't always pay
Doesn't
out.
always pan out. Okay, thank you, Paul. Have you ever owned a business in another field?
No, I haven't.
Okay, this is the only business you've ever had.
Yes.
Right. Did you work for somebody else, or did you just start this business on your own?
I came back from living abroad and joined up with my partner Michael, who had the beginning of it started, but there's been a long way to go to get it to where it is today. Yeah.
Okay. Why did you start a business in this particular field? Is it love? Is it passion? Is it money?
Well, it was a business opportunity when I returned back to South Africa that a good friend of mine had been into. He was into it as a connection through his father, who'd owned a business previously. It got bought out, did the same thing. So it was something that was in their blood and their natural ability. And when I reviewed all its prospects, and obviously working with a good old friend again, it was an appealing idea.
And it's obviously worked out in some ways.
It's working out very well. Yeah, we're growing at a
I
rapid
can
rate.
see the big company you've got here.
Well, it's growing more.
It's
than
growing,
that.
yeah.
This is tiny now. There's a new factory on the way. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you, Paul. What were some of the challenges you had to start this business? You have any challenges?
There's a lot of challenges to start a business.
Please explain, yes.
Well, I'll try not to go on all day, but basically the few basic ones, the obvious ones are cash. Without cash, life is always very hard to get anything done. And in this type of field, also product testing, you know, there's many hours of laboratory testing, getting things working, failures, wide failed, teething. The epoxy resin field has got a lot of things that can go wrong. And so the experience is something that you can't just get overnight. You quite literally have to spend hours getting it and then use it wisely once you have it.
So in terms, you basically learned the business from the ground up.
Correct. I came in and hit the ground running. Yeah.
And your partner, he had some experience in this? No.
He had some experience, a little bit too, from his father, but his father has kind of mentored us because he previously set up a business in the 70s which was successful, grew, ended up having 100-odd staff and got bought out by an international company. So he had all the formulations, etc. We just had to learn to cook the KFC chicken, if you want to say.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul. What are the present benefits to you of owning your own business? In terms of freedom, in terms of being your own boss, are there benefits?
Freedom right now is definitely not a benefit. I can say that much. The business is very demanding during its growth phase. Obviously, our plans at one point in time when it does establish and manages itself, we will get a bit more freedom and obviously hopefully some financial benefits. But in the past few years, it's been very demanding and very stressful. Benefits from it? None at the moment right now, to be honest. A 9-to-5 job would be less stressful.
Would you ever go and work for somebody else?
Probably not though.
I know I asked this of all the business owners, and they say, you know what, we just can't take orders from other people anymore.
Correct. At least we're steering our ship. Our ship isn't sailing at full speed, but at least we have control of our own destiny.
Correct.
I guess we're addicted to that part of it.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing. When you work for somebody else, you're building their dreams.
Yes,
and
yes.
You have no say in the thing. And I think once you get that bug, you can never go back.
Correct. Yeah, because you've got to bite your tongue and listen to them and watch their mistakes or what you think are mistakes and sort of deal with it. Yeah.
They deal with it because they know usually better than you.
Well,
they think
they know. Well, they're supposed to know. Yeah.
Okay. Present challenges. Keeping it running in terms of capital, staff. Are there any?
Well, present challenges, we're going through a growth spurt, basically. We are moving to a new factory in a couple months, so financing that, arranging that. It has been a stress going through banks, convincing them of our growth, convincing them of loaning us the money has been a big uphill battle, but it's all been done now. The current stress will be the fact that we're moving in a couple months. Obviously, when you move a house, it's a lot of hard work. When you move a factory, it's 3 or 4 times more work than that. So that's going to be a lot of stress.
You're moving it because you're growing in size, because it's too
small
here.
Yeah, we can't fit in here anymore. We basically are. It's a positive move. We're growing bigger. We're doubling our factory size, and so quite literally we are jammed in here. No floor space. You can't walk through the floor without tripping over stuff. So it's a good thing. But it's a stress.
It's a stressful thing.
Yeah, but it's a good thing. It's a good stress, not a bad stress.
In terms of challenges, nothing really else. Just what you've said there is really what you're going through at the moment. Your clients, you have any challenges with clients?
Yeah, you always get challenged with clients. You get different clients. Some clients are easy, nice, pay straight away. Some clients are fussy, don't pay, and they hold you responsible for things that were out of your control. So each client is different, and you've got to deal with them. One of the secrets is just to be strict and to have set terms and conditions, and don't detour off of that trail. Otherwise, the client sometimes can make life difficult.
Do you the contracts or the money that you get from your business, is this paid up front to you before you start the jobs, or do you have to, or do they give you a deposit, or is it like a 90-day sort of business?
It varies on industry. Basically, some clients, if you're working for big guys like Unilever, Coca-Cola, it's 90 days, take it or leave it. Whereas you've got medium enterprises, the guys will pay you a 50% deposit. So and if you've got construction industry too, it's normally valuations and payments, which is, you can't change that in the construction industry.
In terms of the nature of your business, your client range, companies, domestic, homes, everybody, or is it just specific on an industry?
99% is industrial. There's mainly all the big industry. Everywhere that products are made, packaged, produced, need floors that are protective, sterile, approved for health regulations. So it's mainly all industry, a little bit of commercial, retail, those types of places. Don't go near residential.
Can you explain on that?
The areas are too small, basically, in comparison to the size teams that we run. We have a big labor force that arrive on site to do a small bedroom would just not make any economical sense, and the poor customer wouldn't afford the fees anyway. So we're not geared up for that. There are others who do
that. Thank you, Paul. Would you recommend your type of industry to other people?
One of the challenges of our industry is the contracting side. Contracting equals headaches. If you like headaches, I'd recommend it. If you don't like headaches, I don't recommend it. Contracting, everything goes wrong, can go wrong, and will test your patience. So if you can't accept the headaches, don't enter contracting.
Great. Thank you, Paul. I was thinking, we're getting into business to be free, and sometimes we don't know that our freedom is gone when we start a business, depending on how you look at it. And that Paul has just expounded on the hard work that you need to become successful at a business, initially at least. Just before I ask the next question, how long do you think a person would need, if they wanted to start a business from scratch, how long do you think they would need before it becomes profitable? How much time? Usually they say it takes 6 months or a year, but you're putting in your own effort at a time before you start to see the benefits. How was it for you?
It can take more time than you expect. Count on that normally. It also depends on the size of business that you're looking to grow to. If you're a lady running a lemonade stand and just need to sell some cool drinks, you could start making profit relatively soon. But when you're building up a new brand, a new image in the marketplace that no one knows about, it takes quite a long time for people to buy. And for example, we were introducing newly named products at Unilever, etc., and they were like, "Where are you guys from? We hadn't heard your stuff. Where is it? And why should we trust it on our multinational floors?" And so it's taken years of edging it in one company at a time, and now it's well known, and now it's getting demanded. And so that growth has taken a long time, and eventually the profits start coming. But the first year and a half, it's slogging. lossing, fighting, battling frustrations, but eventually it turns the other way and can snowball in a nice direction.
Yeah, so you've got to put in.
You definitely have
before
to.
you receive.
Yeah.
You don't just, especially if you're growing a bigger company like
And you
yourselves.
don't give up. If you're going to give up, you'll never get there.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you get knocked down, you get up again, you keep
Persistence.
going. You have to. And be organized. Without organization, you won't make it.
And like you said there, trust. You know, the bigger companies, a lot of the people or the companies that you go and do business with, Paul mentioned it, trust. Trust is important in business.
Correct. Yeah, you're building relationships. It's like anyone. The guy comes and says, I'll come and do whatever the work is for you. Who are you? Never seen of you, never heard of you. Why should I give you this contract? That's the initial one. Once a year or two's gone by and you've done some good jobs, the guy says, piece of cake, I know you guys, you come and do the job because I'm happy with your work. So you've got to build relationships. Business is about building them. And it takes a long time to build them. Once they're built, they're like bridges and you can travel over them all the time and they're strong.
Well said, Paul. So there's no quick, easy get rich scheme. No, I haven't
maybe
found
on the
any.
internet, yeah, keep looking, but not that I know of.
You can't get rich overnight, even with the quick schemes.
Well,
it'll take you a while.
I think the lottery's
the only one, but how many people do we know wealthy out of that?
Just a handful, yeah.
And I don't know anybody personally. You might. So yeah, okay. What are the future prospects of your business?
Well, we've got good prospects. We're basically growing in a marketplace. Our advantage is the manufacture and installation. So we're growing against a local economy in cases where there are no other companies like that.
Wow.
So it gives us great advantage over the traditional guys who just sell it and then other people who have to install it. So we can couple that service. And basically on pricing, we're becoming lethal in the marketplace. So our growth prospect is very good. We are growing. The hardest constraint is managing the growth and not grow too big and fall on your face.
Yes, I suppose that's a challenge.
It's a good challenge, yeah.
All right, I'm coming to one of our final questions. I want to ask you, Paul, tips and suggestions for anybody that's maybe a young guy like you, or maybe even 19, finishing school, wanting to start a business, maybe has a bit of capital, maybe doesn't, or somebody 40 or 50, a bit older, has got capital from a retirement. What is it needed to get a business up and running? What kind of person, what kind of tips, what kind of ideas would you be able to give them?
There's a few tips. Basically, the business concept or the idea, you really need to know what you're trying to sell. And once you're comfortable with all the details of that, you need to be honest with yourself and really evaluate its ability to make and generate money, because at the end of the day, that's what the business does. You know, sometimes the passion alone, it won't work if it doesn't generate enough money. So you need to be comfortable with the finances. You know, everyone says business plan. You don't necessarily need to do a business plan, but you need to realistically work out, is this business going to sell enough time or enough installations, and is it profitable to the level that it can grow to where I want? And that's not an easy thing to do. So you normally need to be a very careful, I would say, very organized, very well thought out, and controlled, executed person in order to pull off a business. It doesn't just fall in your lap and sort of all pan out. There's a lot of tough sides to it. You also need to be very persistent. You need to have a hard shell. You need to accept the failures. You need to improve on the failures. And another thing too is a lot of people underestimate the importance of understanding the finances. You know, it makes money, I'll sell it, etc. If you don't understand the finances of your business, you can very often find yourself steering a ship that you don't really know where it's going, or you can't understand, you know, we sold so much, but why are we still making a loss? You don't understand the details of why the full recorded accounting system is not in your favor. You need to understand finances, and a lot of guys don't understand that, and very often are good at their business, but not good at the finances of business. And you need to couple those two together, or get a good partner that can help you with that.
Yeah, you picked up on some good points there. A lot of times people are good salesmen in their business and they sell their products, but they can't understand why they're failing, because their costs are too high. And I think, I'm not going to give my opinions there, but a lot of times people doesn't like the finances. Eh?
Yes,
it's not a fan thing for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy to understand them, because if you haven't had an education at school where you've done a bit of basic accounting, an income statement and a balance sheet, at the end of the day, you need to know that. You need to know a bit about that stuff. If you know nothing about it and you're running your business, sooner or later you will not know where your business really stands. You need to have an understanding. You don't have to be a hardcore accountant that can do all these transfers and credits and things, but you need to know, I'm turning over so much, my costs are so much, they're split amongst wages, overheads, marketing, I'm spending too much here, and that basically gives you the indicators of how to adjust your business. And those are critical indicators.
I wanted to ask you, who's the accountant, you or your partner?
both my partner and I, after finishing degrees at varsity in construction, went on to study accounting. So we have degrees in both. Yeah. So
Okay.
hence we're fully able to run this
Okay,
thing.
so you both strong in it. You both sort of like it.
When it comes to finances, we breathe and sleep
Yeah.
them, and when it comes to construction, we breathe and sleep it. So the partnership is dynamic. Yeah.
Paul, you brought up something here in this tips and suggestions. It's a good interview. I'm really enjoying this. You brought up something here about where people say, and you see this all the time, it's my passion. It's my passion. It's my hobby. But yet, you said there, you know, that you can have a hobby, but do people want it?
Correct.
You know, you might not make, and you can't understand why I'm not making money. It's my passion, but does people want it?
Correct.
Yeah, you see, this is a
one example is, you know, I don't want to pick on any field, but a lot of guys love taking photographs and they want to be photographers, you know, and so you can take a picture of a pretty bee and a flower and all that stuff, but how's that going to make you money? How are you going to turn that passion into making you money? And most photographers end up going to take school photographs and weddings because that's the only thing that pays. And sooner or later, they find themselves just surviving on it, but not really thriving on it. That passion is no longer there because they weren't into taking wedding photos. They like taking sunsets and sunrises and that, but no one pays for those photos.
Nobody pays for those
so
photos.
You got to look at, will it make you money?
Yeah, this is the key. Finances behind it, you know. It's all, and that's why people have their hobbies. That's why they obviously none of them gets involved in their hobbies because they just think they just don't know how to make money.
Correct. It might be better as a hobby than as an income earning potential.
Is there money in everything? Is there money? Can there be money made in everything?
There can be money made in everything. It depends on, for example, I'd like to be a surfer and travel the world and make money, but I wouldn't get anywhere on the world tour. So I have to accept that and keep it as a passion and rather make epoxy to buy my new surfboards. Yeah.
You love surfing?
I love it, yeah.
Would you give all this up for it?
Well, if it would pay for me, I
would. All right, Paul. Anything else that I missed out? Anything else you want to add for the viewers?
No, I think we've had a good chat.
All right. I'm gonna do the expo on Paul's business now, and I just want to ask him what makes Paul unique from your competitors? What makes Paul and your partner stand out? Your company?
Well, basically, the business model of what we have, the manufacture and the application. That coupled is we're the only one in KZN that does that, and there's only a handful in South Africa. Most companies just want to sell the product in a tin and, you know, let other people go and install it and deal with all the problems. That basically gives us supreme advantage on contracting because we manufacture our own materials and therefore go and install them, whereas others have to buy them from a third party who've already marked them up, then go put their markup on, so you got what you call double markups. And the bigger the job gets, the more our advantage gets. So when it comes to big contracts, our dynamic business advantage is unparalleled and unmatched in the marketplace. That coupled with obviously the fact that Mike and I are both degreed guys has helped a lot with our education and our ability to think through business and the accounting. And obviously Mike's dad had this business all before, which got bought out internationally. So you couple that whole lot, makes us pretty lethal right now.
Quick question, another thing, interesting what you brought up there, degreed people. Is it important to have a degree to succeed in business?
No, it's not the only thing. But basically, I have a degree in quantity surveying, and I think I've only been a quantity surveyor for about 4 months of my life.
How many degrees do you have? You have a couple.
Well, yeah, I've got a few diplomas too, so we won't start talking about that.
So you went for it, you weren't sure what you were going to do?
Well, we did the degree. I think in hindsight, the thing is, it's not really the degree that you do, it's that you've been through that process at university of testing your brain, and, you know, it's the next level of school. You know, you don't go on to do geography and life or history from school neither. It's just the next level of dynamic thinking as you're still growing, you know, from your 18s to your 22s, your brain's still going, you're still learning. And your brain can do with a bit more nurture and encouragement. So a lot of that process of going through those varsity deadlines and trials and things has just forced us to think that little bit sharper and a little bit more than most guys who haven't hit the ground, have had to hit the ground running from school. It's not that we're clever, we just had the advantage to spend more time nurturing our brains and our thinking, and it's just sharpened our pencil for the marketplace.
So in a sense what you're saying is it gave you discipline more than the knowledge. It gave you a way of working,
yes,
a way
and
of
thinking, you know, thinking amongst the other guys. It didn't matter that I could have studied, I don't know, anything else, but the fact is that I just kept my brain sharpened, and then I was able to apply it later. Look, a lot of guys study accounting and go on to be accountants, which is fine, but it's not a waste that I went to university and I'm not a quantity surveyor today, because without that I wouldn't be as sharp as I am, I think.
Thank you, Paul. All right, we're gonna just we finished with the interview. We're just gonna leave your contact details of your company, your full company name for me.
Okay.
your full address, where you'd like people to find you if you want to,
Okay.
and a contact telephone number and a website.
Okay. The company name is Vuka Floors. I won't give you any physical addresses. We're about to move factory in a few months, but the best place to find us is obviously on the web. It's www.vukafloors.co.za. That's Vuka spelled with a V, U-K-A, F-L-O-O-R-S.co.za. And you can always email info@vukafloors.co.za to get in touch with us and get brochures, samples, whatever else you need, you know.
Thank you, Paul. Oh, one more question. Why Vuka Floors? Name. I'm curious.
Good question. It was my partner had it as MC Vuka. His nickname is MC. So when I came along, I thought, well, I got to get rid of his nickname out of the company name. And the Vuka was his dad gave it to him because it means wake up
Okay.
in Zulu. So it was sort of wake up, son. It's time to do some business. And
is he a Zulu guy?
No, he's one of us. He's a normal South African guy, Basti. But his dad just threw it out there. At the time, there was also African empowerment going on, and it was all this, let's have an African sounding name. So it was Vuka, which meant sort of wake up, stop sleeping. And so we kept the Vuka name and just called it Vuka Floors.
Thank you, Paul. It's been a really interesting interview. This is Sean Fitzgerald from Observe What Is. Please leave your, if you liked the video, and I'm sure you did, please leave your comments and suggestions and subscribe. It's free, and look forward to the videos that come on this. Paul, why don't you just hit the red button for me? We are finished.
Thanks, Sean.